Hi guys, and welcome back to the Carr Clan podcast. This is episode 4, so that means we've been doing this nearly a month now.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
That is quite crazy actually.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the longest we've ever stuck at doing anything in our relationship. Not even a joke.
No comment. It's not true. We've been to Butlins every year for the last 5 years nearly.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. So that's 5 years. So we've got lots more podcasts to make to keep up with that.
He's him.
And she's
You're not looking at the camera.
And she's I don't think I've ever looked at the camera when I've done it.
Haven't you?
No, I normally look at you.
Oh, you probably should.
Probably should. It's taken 4 episodes to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the jingle.
We're going to have to be a bit quieter than usual because Willow's been a nightmare at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to turn the monitor off.
Still just hot as balls, isn't it? That's the problem.
It's not that hot anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's still too hot to wrap her. She's a swaddler baby.
She's got a woolly blanket on her at the minute because that's what she likes to have on her. Because she's a nutter.
But swaddling is just too much in it.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you been up to this week?
Too much.
That's a great podcast. Thank you for coming and watching.
Listening.
We had put this on YouTube. The last one had 38 views on it. So that means 38 people watched it. Or 3 people watched it 10 times and then another 8 came along and had a look.
Nothing really happens for me, to be honest. I just run.
Just run?
Yeah.
Right, Forrest Gump.
Fuck off. I completed week 8 of the Couch to 5k. 28-minute runs. Done.
Are you actually running the whole thing? Or are you doing that thing where you just walk fast?
I run.
Oh, I'm just checking. You did look like you've been running more.
Good.
When you did it last year, you were definitely just moving your body faster.
Yes, but I was brand new to running then, wasn't I? Whereas I'm not really this time.
Because you did it last time.
Yeah. I got to run till week 8 last year.
That's why I was asking how your 28-minute run is running. Like if you are running it or if you're just...
I'm probably not going the same speed the whole way.
Of course you're going to tire, aren't you? Nobody goes the same speed the whole way.
What have you been up to this week?
Nothing really. Nothing's changed at all, I don't think.
Oh, hasn't it?
No, I quit my job and got a new job. It's technically an old job.
You went backwards?
Mm-hmm. But forwards, really.
Yeah. For your mental health, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Had the first day back today. It was like I hadn't left.
How long has it been since you've been there?
4 months.
Yeah. It's quite nice that they were happy to have you back. Well, they told you to go back, didn't they?
Yeah. No, I originally went there on agency, and they basically said, we're going to offer you a job once the agency let us. But
yes, they did.
Technically, by me quitting and getting another job and coming back, I think I've actually saved them money because they have to buy you off the agency. Because obviously the agency are losing money by letting them have me.
Yeah.
So I think I've saved them money by doing it the way I've done it.
That's a win-win for everybody then, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then bought a new car.
Technically, I suppose.
Well, we have. It's all ours now. We've just got to wait for them to put the MOT on it. Because it comes with a 12-month MOT, so they obviously wait till it's sold, get it done, and then you go and collect it once they've had the 12-month MOT put on.
Yeah. So that should be this week, really.
Well, it went in today, so depending on what comes back wrong with it, they'll get that sorted, and then we can collect it. So, but looking at the previous MOTs, it's never failed an MOT, and it's only ever had advisories of the brake pads needing changing.
That'd been sorted as well, hadn't it?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago that was an advisory. But brake pads needing changing, that's something that, I mean, I changed the brake pads on Terry like 6 times, and we've only had him for 2 years.
Yeah. Oh,
Be sad to see Terry go.
It will be. Be very sad.
But outside of that, pretty eventless week, really. New job, new car.
We, I really survived the first week of the 7 weeks holiday. Because you was at work for most of it.
I wasn't.
You was?
I wasn't.
You was?
I had Thursday and Friday off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weekends don't count.
They're still as hyped up though for it. The whole thing's one long weekend now.
Yeah.
But they got to nannies, so
They have now, yes. They're at nanny's till Thursday.
her problem for a few days.
The kids don't... Well, Maggie knows that we're getting a new car because she came with us to go and look for a new car. But Riley doesn't know anything.
She doesn't know that we've got a new car. She just knows we were looking at new cars.
I wonder if she's told Riley.
But hopefully that'll be ready to go and pick them up.
No, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Go and pick him up in the new car.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else that's happened this week.
Willow sat up.
Oh shit, yeah. Willow has had quite a few milestones actually this week. She's sat up properly for the first time. I mean, she doesn't sit up and have a balance every time yet, but she's still sat up and balanced for quite a long
She was
period
like
of time.
monkey in it, wasn't she? She had her hands down and she was holding herself on her hands. She wasn't like sitting like how we are. She got her hands down. She was like.
She's very cute. And she's also started eating pouches of food, which I know she's not supposed to yet, but she's just a hungry baby.
It's only a week and 2 days until technically she's allowed to, because it says 4 months. And actually, on some of them, it says about 4 months. 3 months and 3 weeks is about 4 months.
I suppose so. It's still horrible though.
It's just when she's ready. I think the other day when Riley was eating that wrap at your dad's, didn't take her eyes off him the whole time he was eating it, so she obviously wants to eat.
Yeah. She definitely wants to eat. You gave her a chip, didn't you?
That turned into an argument. With her. She proper bit it. She grabbed hold of it with her gums and just ripped off a massive chunk, and I was like, you can't do that! You meant to just suck the insides out because they're just mushy.
I have to give her some of them crisps that just dissolve. Or candy floss.
Oh yeah, sugar the baby up. Let's give it diabetes. Let's go.
What else? I can't think of anything. We should maybe get some rusks.
Yeah. Well, I think they say 6 months on them.
She's on to normal people food, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
The
We're
fruit
gonna have to
pots are
start
pretty nice though.
Yeah. She likes them, doesn't she? But we're gonna have to every time we have like a proper meal, just like mush it all up.
Not yet. That's
Why?
way off the line.
Why?
Because the reason it's at 4 months is because of the nutrient levels and stuff in it. If you just blend her a chicken dinner and go, here, eat this, that's going to overload
like mashed
her with
potato
shit.
and that, can't she? She's had sweet potato and she's had vegetables.
Yeah, but they're fruit pot. They're baby food things. Their salts and everything are set at particular levels.
Okay.
That's why it's a 4 month and a 6 month and a... Because they will mess with them. Although, saying all this, I think 90% of the baby stuff's bollocks. The stuff we're told, I think 90% of it's bollocks. Sterilising bottles. And I don't think you need to sterilise bottles ever.
Why?
Why? Because there are literally babies born every minute all over the world. There are tribes that exist that live in jungles that have never even seen like a phone, let alone a steriliser.
Yeah, but that's a bit different.
It's not a bit different.
It is, because
it's not.
that tribe's been brought up without ever having sterilised things, whereas
So
we have.
No, but we weren't for a very, 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 very long time. Until somebody went, sterilise it. We can tell them they have to sterilise it. You think the Victorians were sterilising bottles?
Don't know.
We're not even going back that far. It's a completely... No, he's like westernised load of bollocks.
I don't know. I do it. I do everything that I'm told to by the midwives because that's what I'm told to do, and then I make my own decision on whether or not to continue with it based on my parenting abilities. Riley and Maggie are fine, so Willow should be the same.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think 90% of it's bollocks, the stuff that you're told. Okay, you got to sterilise the bottles. Do you know how many times she puts her hands in her mouth a day?
That's true.
Her
Yeah.
hands touch everything. Do you sterilise her dummy every time she has it?
No, I've never sterilised a dummy.
Exactly. But you sterilise the bottle. Why?
I think it's because of the food, isn't it, really?
Because it's still going in her mouth. I get it if you were pre-making... They tell you not to pre-make bottles anymore. When I was little, my mum would make all the bottles in the morning and then just give them you at the relevant times.
Yeah, that's what Sarah did as well.
But now it's like, don't do that. You have to make them fresh. Okay, so why am I bothering sterilising? There's no chance of the bacteria growing because I'm going to feed it to the baby and then it's done.
There was, I'm pretty sure, the woman who we've had this time as well, she said that if you make a bottle and you can put it in the fridge for like 4 hours and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just like pre-make the next one.
Yeah, but then it'd be
Every
cold and
time.
you'd have to warm it back up. There's
Yeah.
no point. You might as well just make it fresh.
Mm.
Because we've got the bottle making machine.
Yeah,
If we didn't have that, it'd probably be different.
yeah.
But there's no point.
Actually, to be fair, I would recommend getting one of them because they're really handy.
Mm-hmm. It's been real good.
Yeah, but I wouldn't pay
Needs-
70 quid for them.
It needs a
Like,
bigger tank.
yeah, definitely.
The tank of water runs out like twice a day.
It depends. If you're early on and you're only doing like the 4 ounces, it's fine really. It should last the day. When you're doing 7 ounces at a time, yeah, you need to have a bigger tank for that.
He does. Definitely.
Hence why I wouldn't pay 70 quid for it, which is, I think it's 80 quid. Brand new. Well, we got it for a tenner off Facebook.
Mm.
So I would advise getting it second hand and then just get a new filter.
Yeah. I advise that near enough everything baby wise.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, buy them a nice outfit because you want to buy a new outfit.
Yeah.
But look at Willow. Half the clothes in the drawer I don't think she even ever put on.
No.
Because she just outgrew them that quick.
Yeah,
Imagine
she
if we'd
did.
bought all them new.
Oh God, I'd be well angry.
There'd be hundreds of pounds worth of shit she never
Yeah.
even put on.
I mean, we were very, very lucky when it came to all of Willow stuff because obviously we never planned on having another baby, so we got rid of everything after we had Maggie, literally everything. So we had to get everything again, and very, very early on, literally the day we found out we were having a baby, didn't we? We went to a car boot sale and just bought a whole load of shit, and afterwards there were some very, very generous people on Facebook that gave us huge bags of baby clothes for free. A lot of our friends have given us their baby stuff for free as well. We're very, very generous for that as well. Not generous. We're very, very grateful for that.
We're very generous.
But yeah, I don't see the point in spending so much money when, one, it's not going to get used that much, and two, it's going to be outgrown.
Well, we're into the third lot of clothes and she's just only 3 months old.
Yeah. She'll be 4 months old in about a week and a half's time, and she's now in 6 to 9 month clothes. She's been through the 0 to 1/newborn, 0 to 3, and 3 to 6.
Yeah. So imagine if you bought all those outfits new for each of those.
Yeah.
However much you'd have spent would have been literally for 3 to 4 weeks maximum.
Yeah.
It's just pointless.
They were like big branded ones as well.
Some of it was, yeah.
But also, like, get like big. I'd recommend getting the big bundles off Facebook if you can, because you can get some pretty cheap for that, or generous people that do just give them away for free, or charity shops. Bernardo is one that we go to. They do 4 items for £2, so it's like 50p a thing, which is quite good. I like doing that. Car boot sales as well. All these places that you can get proper cheap stuff. You don't have to spend a lot of money. And people say that babies cost a lot. Yeah, they can do.
If you let it.
Yeah.
They only cost a lot if you let it. If you're one of these people that has to have all brand new shit, then it's going to cost a lot because of how quick they're outgrowing it.
Yeah.
But, you know, once your kid's older and stuff's going to last, then sure, go and
Yeah.
buy some expensive stuff. I mean, I still wouldn't because I know what ours are like.
Yeah. I mean, we have bought them some new things, but it's mostly the people that buy them the new clothes and that, isn't it? We just
No,
sort of get it
I
from
mean,
charity
I
shop.
mean nice things. Like people will go out and buy, I don't know, like a proper Adidas top, and they spent like 30, 40
Yeah,
quid on a
I know what you mean.
t-shirt. or whatever it is. Yeah, okay, when's it going to last? But I wouldn't do that with ours. Not because I wouldn't want to spend that much money, but because I know what our kids are like. All you've got to do is watch, what is it, day 2 of the Butlins videos and look at Maggie.
Yeah.
That was literally not even 100 metres from the apartment, and she was covered in crap because she just ran and...
No, that was day 1.
Was it day 1?
Yeah, the day we got there.
Not even 100 metres from the apartment, and she's covered in crap.
Yep, that stain is still on her dress, you know.
Exactly.
So that's what we've been up to this week.
The cock
Phrase of the week. My God, they've come out with some shit this week. So, first thing, which I thought was really funny, was we was at Joe's house, and Riley decided to try and get all the bugs out of the pool. Or was it at Aria? I don't remember. I think it was at Joe's. And he was using a peg to get all the flies out, all the bugs. He's trying to actually clip the fucking bugs.
Each bug individually. Nutter.
I was like, oh, why are you doing that? That's the first stupid thing he did. I told him, that's going to take you forever if you do that. I don't think he got one bug doing that. Also, when the kids were at JoJo's, they were playing hide and seek.
Yep.
And they kept going into the same hiding spot every time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't matter who was trying to find them, they just kept going to the same spot behind this, like a fence thing in a garden. So I tried to give them some different ideas, mainly Maggie. And then when it was Maggie's turn to go and seek, she turned round to cheat and said, "Where are you going to go?" Like, you can't ask that. That's really cheating.
If they're stupid enough to answer, it's not really cheating.
I suppose.
Sneaking and following them's cheating. If you just say where you're going and they tell you, that's their fault. She's genius.
Riley, when we were on a walk back from the park with Jojo again, and he was moaning about how hot it was, and he says, "It's 1,000 calories out here today." I was like, "What? Did you say calories?" I said, "Do you mean degrees, Riley?" He said, "Yeah."
No, I definitely meant calories.
Like, where'd you learn these things, man?
Doesn't he just hears things and then...
Oh, that was another one. He, this was, not yesterday, the day before. Where were we talking about going? I think we were talking about going to stop over Natasha and Jono's house. And he said, "Why don't you take that thing that Willow can sleep in?" I said, "What are you on about?" And he said, "That adventure thing. The go somewhere thing." I was like, "What? Do you mean the cot?" He went, "Yeah, the adventure cot."
Travel cot? Yeah. I'm with him on this. That doesn't sound stupid at all.
It's not called an adventure cot.
You take it when we go on adventures.
The go somewhere cot.
We go somewhere. It's when you're going somewhere.
That'd be a good brand name, wouldn't it?
I'm with Riley on this. Sounds better than the travel cot. The adventure cot.
The adventure cot. And the last thing actually happened to you, and Maggie was there. Do you remember? No. What happened to your balls the other day?
Oh, yeah. So my new joggers have got a metal bit on the ties, and it had half opened, and when I did pull my trousers up, the tie was inside, and I pulled the tie out and it scratched my balls.
I didn't think it was anything extreme at first, because you always wince at things like that.
Well, if you've got balls, you'd know.
But yet you actually cut them.
There was a bit of blood. There was a bit of blood and everything. They weren't like proper cut. It was just a scratch. But it's a sensitive area, isn't it? So there's a bit
the
of
skin's
blood.
very thin down there.
It was just a scratch. It wasn't a proper cut. It was a scratch, but obviously they're bleeding.
It's a big thing to Maggie, though. The only reason that she saw it was because she was waiting to go to the toilet. She's not just hanging around him with his balls out. But she was like, "Daddy, why have you cut your balls?" She was obsessed with it, man. Mind you, anytime there's any blood anywhere, she's obsessed with it, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear me.
Why have you cut your balls?
Yeah,
like I planned
literally.
it.
Why
I didn't even
why
realise I
have you cut
had.
your balls?
I just thought I'd caught him on something as I didn't even register. And it was only when you was moaning at me for like being a whiny little bitch about it that I got my ball out to have a look and was like, oh, it is bleeding.
Oh, flipping Nora.
I thought it was more like I thought maybe when I'd pulled them up, I got like pube caught in and I'd like pluck some pubes or something. I didn't think I'd cut my balls.
Is it scammed?
No, because it was literally like a little scratch. It just healed itself up.
Is it like a paper cut?
And not even that. Literally a scratch.
Oh.
Told you, I'm Wolverine anyway. I heal mad quick for some weird reason.
So you say.
I do, look at that.
What?
You can't even see it at this point. I nearly chopped my thumb off with a piece of thread.
Off the mattress or duvet? Duvet.
I think it was my pillow.
Oh, your pillow?
Yeah, I went to pull it to snap it, and it just didn't snap, and it just went straight in my thumb. Sort of halfway between my, what's that called? Fingernail, freaking hell. Halfway between my fingernail and my top knuckle, in there, but it had gone like halfway into my finger, and it had gone all the way, like proper gone in. And I took it out, and 20 minutes later, I just got like a thin little paper cut bit around the edge, and now it's just
Didn't
a mark.
even bleed, did it?
No, nothing.
Crazy.
It was bordering on being to the bone. And I scratched my balls and nothing. They healed straight up. I'm Wolverine. There's the name for this podcast. I am Wolverine.
Nathan is Wolverine.
Willow's just been hilarious shouting at everybody. I wish I knew what she was saying.
And me. I don't even think she knows what she's saying. She's just
I
liking to be
think she
vocal.
fully does. I think she fully knows what she's trying to get at. Because you can tell by the way she changes how she's being vocal. Like there'll be like a whiny vocal, and then there's like a happy vocal, and then there's just her making noises to herself. And sometimes she'll respond to you as well. So you'll be talking to her, and then you'll stop, and then she'll have a go, and then you can talk to her again, and then she'll have another go.
She is funny.
Diddly 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 dip, the Carr clan.
Say it with your chest.
Is that where we're at?
Yep.
Ooh. Go on then. You go first.
Oh, I'm going first?
Yeah.
Alright. When you cook...
I don't know why, but that's not what I thought you were saying.
When you cook, especially when you fry things, fucking hell, the amount of grease you get everywhere, and you don't clean it up.
Tastes good though.
That's not the point. You leave grease everywhere. You never clean the stove. You never clean the stove top. You never wash up the things you use. You just fill it with water and then leave it in greasy water.
That's not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
I had to
You're
clean
picking
up
that up
2
based on-
bowls that you left greasy water in today from that fucking lamb that you fried.
I knew you were going to say about those, but I hadn't finished.
How had you not finished?
Because I hadn't. I wasn't done with them. They had water in them because they had some hot water in them. And I wasn't done with them.
The
That's
water
why
wasn't
they
even
were...
hot.
Well, it was.
Yeah, but you can't just
Well,
leave
that's-
water in it.
Why?
Because you can't. It's like, leaves a residue on it.
It makes the oil float on the top and it comes off the bottom bit.
When it's hot, yeah, not when it's cold.
Yeah, when it's cold, it then sets it
yeah.
on the top. How's it different to not having water in it and leaving it to go cold? Apart from when it's in the water, half of it's not touching the bowl because it's on the water. So actually...
So how
by
did
having it
grease
on
get
the
all
water-
around the outside of the bowl?
Because water went over the top. Doesn't make
In
any
future,
sense.
swill it
What's that
out
got to
and
do
then
with being
leave it on the side.
outside?
Don't leave water in it. You do.
I hadn't-
Look, I bet you. Could you
It
wash
was
the
in-
bottles up if you got rid of the water out of the bowl?
No,
Why?
because there's other washing to do.
Do you think that water's going to be used?
Possibly, possibly not. I don't know. That's why I leave it
Of course
there.
it's not. It's
I've
going to be
been-
cold.
I can't win because if I pour the water away, you'll tell me off. There's also a bottle that's in there still that needs doing.
Yeah, but you won't be able to use that water with it. It's going to be cold.
Well, it will be now because we've had to come and do the podcast.
No.
But stupid me, being me and assuming,
You know what
when
you
you'd
could have
finish
done?
the child,
You know
you would...
when
No, I'm talking, you wait. Right? Stupid me, assuming that you would stick to your own rules that you want to play by, and when you'd finished with her, you would bring the bottle down, because when I don't bring the bottle down, Nathan, you're a dickhead, you should bring that bottle down.
There was over half left, though.
There wasn't.
There was.
I think I would know. I just gave her the last of it. There was like this much left in the bottom.
I leave it in there.
Look at you.
I leave it in there unless it's completely empty for 2 hours, because you can have it for the 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. But if I do that, I'm a dickhead, because she's
No,
gone to sleep
because
now.
when was the last time you put her to bed? Ages ago. I think you've done it twice.
Or on a night. You tell me off for leaving bottles upstairs.
That's because you don't take them down in the morning. It's different on a night.
Well, neither do you.
But anyway,
The
with
bottle
the washing up water downstairs, if you were like, oh, it could have been used, why didn't you wash up?
Because
There's
I got told
plenty
to
of
come
washing up on the
upstairs. Because I got told to come upstairs.
Well, you could have done everything a lot quicker instead of being on your phone downstairs.
Wasn't about being on my phone downstairs. I was watching Buy It Now. Watching crackhead ideas. A lady had eyelashes. She put eyelashes in. She was like, I've invented these fake eyelashes. I'm like, well, fake eyelashes definitely already exist. They're like, people don't have time for putting on single ones, and the big strips are rubbish, so I do them in 5s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the one lady on the panel that buys them was like, yeah, it's a stupid idea, I'm out. And both of them were like, we thought that was good ideas, and made offers for them. The lady on the panel was like, yeah, that's stupid.
So to recap, my beef with you is that you leave grease everywhere whenever you cook on the stove and you don't clean up after yourself. You are just a very fucking messy person.
I don't claim to be a tidy cook, but I'm a good cook.
I wouldn't know, you barely cook. For me.
What a load of shit.
When was the last time you cooked for us?
Most of the bloody time.
Name the last time you did it.
Pasta bakes.
When?
Like,
I didn't say
that was
what.
like a month or so ago.
A month or so ago?
No, because I always have to fucking buy food. I do the kids, like, you make that sound like I don't cook at all. I do the kids' dinners and stuff, and I do my own. You always want some random shit or don't want food. Or don't want what
That's
I'm
not
cooking.
True. I would love for you to cook us a proper meal and then clean up after yourself.
I ain't cleaning up.
Why? I have to clean up after myself whenever I cook.
Yeah, I'm cooking.
What's the deal when I'm cooking then?
You just do that, apparently. I don't ever cook. So
you need to tidy up after yourself from now on, because I'm getting real angry with it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And the bathroom.
What about it?
You still don't tidy up after yourself in the bathroom.
What do you want about it?
I had to tell you to clean out the bath from that fucking pink bath bomb that you had.
What, the following morning? When we literally got out and the water was coming down and I got into bed? And then the following morning you were like, clean out the bath, and I cleaned out the bath?
Yes, do it after you've had a bath.
It was still emptying, and I came and got into bed and went to bed.
What about the stuff on the side?
Stuff on the side?
What,
All my shit was put away.
No, it wasn't.
Apart from, there was a bag for a bath bomb. There wasn't anything in it, it was just the bag.
There was other stuff, Nathan.
No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
There was not.
Yes, there was.
There was the bag for the bath bomb that got put in the
Oh my god,
rubbish.
you were
That
so
was
in
it.
denial.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm not. That was all there was on the side, was the bag. Oh, and then you moaned about the flannel that you got out for me. So yeah, there was a flannel and a bag.
What's yours?
What's mine? The fact that you have no concept of what things like never and always actually mean.
I do.
You obviously don't.
I do, I just exaggerate it a little bit, there's a difference.
You don't know, because you'll be like, you never do this, and it'll be like 300 times it'll happen, and 275 of those times I'll do it, and then the 25 you'll be like, you never do this.
No, it's more like the other
what?
way around.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
it isn't. It
Majority
isn't.
of the time you don't do it, that's what it means.
That's not. It's not though. That's also the point.
Yeah, it
Majority wouldn't even be accurate.
It would be.
No, it wouldn't.
Give me an example.
Give an example. I never tidy up after myself. We did this before, and I don't know, you know, and you lost your head because I went, right, I never tidy up after myself. Right, I'm never going to tidy up after myself. And literally 2 days, the whole house was a complete shit pit. And you were like, ah. We did it at the flat as well.
No.
Because you were like, you never do the washing up. All right, I won't do the washing up. And there was literally nothing left for us to use. Because I was like, well, I'm not washing up. I'm not doing anything because I never do it.
This is lies.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
This has never happened.
It's happened. You are the one that's in denial. Every
I'm
time.
in the chair.
You think it's not? That's not even funny.
Why are you laughing then?
I'm laughing at you, not with you. There's a difference. I'm laughing at you, thinking you have the ability to do dad jokes when you're a mom.
Not a dad joke.
That's a dad joke and a half. You're in denial. No, I'm not. I'm in the bedroom. Like, that's a dad joke and a half.
Well, it's funny.
Not when a mom does it.
I'm not just a mom.
Oh, I'm an independent woman as well.
Damn straight.
Like, one thing could happen once in the history of ever, and you'll be like, you never do this. Because one time I didn't.
You never wash up.
Well, I mostly don't.
What?
I mostly don't. One, because I'm not very good at it and you moan at me about it, even when I try real hard. You're like, you shit at this, don't ever fucking do it again. 2, it just takes me too long and I end up refilling the bowl like 4 times while I'm doing it. And then 3, you do the washing up and I do the putting away in the morning when I get up. Which again, you're like, you never put it away in the morning. Like, sometimes I won't because I'm running late and have to go to work.
Listen, some people have this routine, like somebody cooks and somebody washes up. Whereas with me, it's I cook and I wash up. It's not fair.
A lot more than some people. The woman in the house is just expected to do everything.
I do fucking do everything.
You don't know.
I don't do everything.
You don't do everything. Right, here we go. We're going to do it this week. I'm doing fuck all in the house and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Fucking nothing changes.
It does. You just don't realise it. I hoover up regularly.
No, you don't.
I do.
When do you hoover?
I pull out the one in the thing and waz over all the time because Hunter's fluff gets everywhere.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
When do you do it?
What do you mean when? Whenever I want to.
Whenever
I go, there's too much fluff on this floor. Most of the time it's in the kitchen, not going to lie, because the kitchen gets mental because that's where he spends a lot of his time. But yeah. But you don't see that I do these things. I don't make a thing out of the fact that I've done these things.
Yeah, but I don't even hear that you do that.
You don't even hear me when I'm talking to your face this far away. Yeah, are you going to hear bzzz through a shut door? No chance.
That can be an added job for you in the morning then.
I literally stood. You shouted me, and I went, "What?" And you were just in the room there. And then I come in and I was like, did you actually call me? And you went, yeah. I was like, well, why didn't you respond? I didn't hear you. But you expect to hear bzzz. But you will very happily say, you never do any hoovering in this house.
Okay, you hardly ever.
Probably not in comparison to you in terms of a proper hoovering. But that's because if we're going to go on this nevers, you never go to work.
Excuse me.
You've been to work like 6 times in the last 7 years.
I made a baby. I'm allowed to be off work.
You made 3 of them.
Exactly.
You're just constantly having time off work.
I won't be anymore, will I?
No, well, we'll find out. Fucking not because of a baby, but because you'll pick someone else.
Have you had your say then now?
Yeah.
You all done?
I think so.
Is it out your system?
I think so.
Love you.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
Ow. That's the first time you've ever said it first.
No, it's not. I say it all the time over text.
Over text? It's only because I'm not replying quick enough. Yeah, I've got to put something else to pester him, but I don't want to come across as pestering. Love you. Love you more. Kiss, kiss. It's still not looking at it! Kiss, 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 heart emoji.
Diddle 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 did the Carr Clan.
I'm going to give you a backdated Don't Call Me an Idiot because it got brought up again recently and she got angry with me again and was like, don't call me an idiot or don't make me out to be an idiot, even though I wasn't. Do you know what it is yet?
No.
No. So there's a particular person that we listen to their music. Well, you like to listen to their music.
Oh God.
What's the song called?
Not telling ya.
What's the song called?
Not telling ya.
Is it called Watermelon Sugar? Is that what the song's called?
Yes.
Yeah. And what did you think the words were? What did you think the words were to the song called Watermelon Sugar?
I'm not telling ya.
What did you think they were?
Not saying.
And even tried to call me an idiot and tell me I was wrong. Despite the fact the song's called Watermelon Sugar. You thought the words were, what about a sugar?
No.
What about a sugar high is what
Want another sugar high.
You said it was what about...
No,
But you thought it was want another.
Yes.
Despite the fact that the song's called Watermelon.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that when you were singing it, it had it on the screen in Terry and said Watermelon Sugar. And you were like, want another sugar? And then the other day you were listening to it and I asked you what the words were and you lost your shit again. Like it was fresh.
It's not fair that you use backdated things. This is supposed to be something that's happened over the last week.
That's a backdated one because it happened this week though.
It didn't. I didn't sing the wrong word.
Yeah, but you lost your shit about it.
Because you brought it up. Don't be a prick.
You should just know the words to the song when they're in the title. It'd be different if it was just called Sugar. Love you. I just got that one for you this week.
Diddly 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 diddly. The Carr Clan.
A story. So I don't have any stories.
No stories, no questions. You don't have a story?
No.
From your life, you don't have a story. What a boring ass life.
I do.
You have. Go on then.
Why do these always include ex-boyfriends or ex-people that I've met online?
I've got one that's a story, but you're not going to tell that story. But I'm not going to tell that story because it's your story to tell. But when you just said that, made me remember that story that you told me. But you won't tell that story on this. Don't worry. Everyone's like, "What's he going on about?" Don't worry.
You know about this one. Everybody knows about this one. Sarah goes on about it every single time he's remotely mentioned. A guy that
Wait, let me try and think.
I was in a relationship with him for a little while. This guy who I suppose you could call it dating, for, I don't know, a few weeks. Everything was really, really good for ages. He met all my family, I think. Like immediate family anyway, not like distant Portsmouth family. He had his own flat, I suppose you'd call it. I stayed over there a fair few times. And this one time that I stayed there, he was having an episode. Now this guy had mild schizophrenia and ADHD. I was riding my bike quite a lot at the time, so I rode my bike to his flat. And I was meant to be staying over that night, I think. And we got into an argument, no idea what it was about, and he decided to lock me in his house all day, and he wouldn't let me leave. And then eventually, after he stopped shouting at me, I managed to nick one of the keys to open the front door, and because my bike was there, he had like this little outhouse right next to his front door, and it was in there. I literally just grabbed my bike and I bolted it. And I rode... He was like in the next town over from where I was living at the time, because I was living at my dad's. And I bolted it, like towards my dad's. And he was running after me, chasing me. And I didn't notice until I was like halfway to Dad's. So instead of going to Dad's, I phoned my ex-boyfriend actually and asked if I could go to his house or like his mum's to just kind of hide for a bit because I didn't know what he was going to do. He was fucking chasing me. He was literally running after me when I was pedalling fucking fast on my bike. So I did a dart to the right and went into his mum's house and just stayed there for a while, and I just watched him run past out the window. And that was the last time I saw him. Until a couple of years later when I went out with him again. Because I was stupid. But it wasn't off his meds then. But yeah, he went in a proper mood with me because I wouldn't get in a relationship with him. And then I met you.
Okay.
I don't know who's more mental, me or him.
Probably you, but you're not great. You're not great at these stories. You're like, I got proposed to and molested, and then you're like, I got kidnapped. Like,
I didn't get kidnapped.
That's literally the definition of kidnapping.
It's not.
It
Kidnapping is when you take somebody and you take them somewhere. I went to his house willingly.
Okay, you got that's kidnapping still. Not allowing you to leave is kidnapping.
It's a bit like Beauty and the Beast, isn't it, really?
Not at all. Not at all like Beauty and the Beast.
But yeah, that's my story. Oh, there's plenty more.
Okay. What story do you want? Do you want...
You got any more weird sex stories?
Thousands. No. I got... Do you want me nearly losing a hand? Or a bank robbery?
What? Do both.
Do both?
Yeah.
Which one do you want first?
Bank robbery.
The bank robbery story's pretty short, to be honest with you.
Go on then, do that one first.
So... Sorry. 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 I don't know how else to... So...
Full stop.
Full stop.
Who's we?
Me and a bunch of us used to skate. This probably... I don't know. We're going back a fair way. It was when I was over in Northampton again.
You shouldn't have gone there.
Oh, most of my stories involve Northampton. The best times of my life.
Oh, clearly.
Absolutely crazy. We were hanging out this area that used to be factories, and they pulled them all down, and it was just all the old flooring from the factories that was still there, but then there was bits that were missing where the walls used to be. Just big concrete slabs, basically, like massive sections, and then there would have been a wall, and then there's a whole other concrete section that would have been all the flooring for that area. So we used to go and skate there because you could build a little ramp between the wall bits, and we used to go and find wood and everything and build our own little skate park down there. And the police used to come down there all the time because they knew that's where we hung out, and they used to just come down and just be like, just making sure you're behaving, pretty much. We know you're here. You shouldn't really be on here because it's technically trespassing, but it's just concrete floor. You're not going to really do any damage. We know you're here, behave, like, so we know you're not in the town centre causing problems, basically.
Yeah.
The one time we were building a ramp, and the policeman we didn't have any tools or anything with us, and he used his big mag light thing to hammer a nail in for us.
No way.
Because we were trying to use bricks, and every time we were hitting it with the brick, we were like proper cavemen style in it, hitting it with a brick, the bricks kept breaking in half because it was like a masonry nail, so he smacked the crap out of it with the back of his torch for us to put it in.
Wow.
But yeah, we were hanging out down there, and we were all just sitting down. God knows how none of us got hurt. Like, genuinely blows my mind that none of us got hurt. So we're all just sitting down there in a bit where there's like a load of little trees growing out of the gaps in the floor and stuff. So we're sitting there for a bit of shade. And we used to climb in through a hole that was in the fence. Like, it was like a chain linky type fence, and you'd pull it up and you could go in through there. And while we were sitting there, all of a sudden the gates come bursting open. Bearing in mind the gates don't open. They come bursting open. This car comes flying in and literally pulls up like this from or sitting on the floor. This car comes screeching like this. 4 guys get out with balaclavas on. They got sledgehammers and a pickaxe and all these bags, and they start legging it and ran off over through the back. And then there's a bit where it goes down into a little stream type bit. And they jumped in there and they ran off there, and we're like, what the fuck is this? And we were like looking at the car and just going, what do we still ain't even moved. We're still sitting there because we were just so in shock. I mean, if one of them just decided to fucking swing a hammer as they ran past, yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. If they'd have been literally that far over, they'd have ran over like 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute madness. And then this police car comes squealing in afterwards, and we were like, stop it! So then the police made us stay there for a bit, but then one of the police that we knew was there, and he was like, yeah, they're just sitting down here, they're nothing to do with it. And told them they'd buggered off and ran off down there. And we don't know actually whatever happened from that, but the police questioned us for a bit until one of the coppers, that's just a walkie-bobby, come down, and he was like, yeah, these lot just hang around down here, they're nothing to do with this. So there was a possibility that we were going to get taken to the police station for a bank robbery that we didn't commit.
Well, how about that?
Makes me wish I had robbed the bank though, because the policeman said it wasn't me, so I'd have got away with it. Don't know if they ever got caught. Never saw anything about it in the news. Checked in the local papers and everything. The fact the bank got robbed was never even mentioned that we could see. Despite the fact that when you went up there, they just smashed the shit out of the bank. The front windows and everything. I don't know why they would have smashed the front windows, because all they would have done was smash the front window and gone inside, which they could have just gone in through the door. But yeah, everything was just, they just smashed everything. I don't know if it was they'd locked the door or something, so they just started smashing the place up, or... Yeah, never saw anything of it.
What about the other one?
I nearly lost my hand because of a splinter.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, you do know this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were building a ramp in my mate's back garden. Skateboarding again. But we were building this ramp in my mate's back garden, and it was coming on so good. We built the ramp perfect on the one side, and on the other side it was like just a flat bank up into a tree. It was attached to the tree, so you'd start up the tree and you'd ride down the flat bank, do your trick on this side, and come back in, and then you could get enough speed on the flat bank to get another couple of goes on it, but you couldn't ride it properly like you would a normal half pipe. And I went down, went to do a trick and slipped, fell over, and had a tiny little splinter go in my finger. And I got it out and carried on skating, and we were going to the big skate park on the evening. And on the way there, while we were just sitting in the car, my finger just started to not be able to bend as much anymore because it was swelling. And me being me was like, oh, I'll be alright.
Yeah.
Carried on skating that night, just skated the hell out, just ignored the fact that my hand was about to explode where my finger was. About a week later, it was still swelling. It was just a giant sausage. That was all it was.
A week?
Yeah, it was like a week. Just a giant sausage. Red was all the way down in my palm here. All the lads were just like, oh, hey, look at that. Whereas the girls were like, yeah, you need to go get it looked at. I'm like, no, I'll be alright. 2 of the girls literally dragged me to the doctors. I wasn't even registered with a doctor. At that point, I was still registered with a doctor here, who had actually passed away like 5 years previously. So it shows how much I went to the doctors. Because I don't get ill in that way generally. If I need to doctor, it's because I'm in A&E. It's not because I need a doctor. And so I went there, and he was having a look at it, and he tried lancing it, and he tried everything and squeezing it, and they put a little cut in, and they just couldn't do anything with it. And the red was coming down my hand, and he put me on antibiotics, and he was like, come back in a week and we'll see if they've managed to do anything. Come back and the red was all the way down to my wrist. The antibiotics had not touched anything to do with it whatsoever. But yeah, he basically said to me, you're going to lose your finger. There's a possibility that you could lose your hand. I think there was like, he put me on like another 3 days of the antibiotics, and I went home, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna fucking lose it anyway. I'm gonna mess with it, and I was just messing with my finger, and I was just poking at it and everything, and I just went, really squeezed it, and something went ping, shot out my finger. It hit the TV where I was watching Dogma.
Yeah.
Hit the TV, hit the window, and then hit my desk. That's how much pressure it shot out with. It literally went ting, ting, ting. It was like in the country and westerns when they spit and you hear it ping off stuff.
Yeah.
It was like that. It just went ting, ting, ting. And they're not even close to each other. The TV was a good 6 feet away from the window. And it pinged, and I couldn't find it. I saw it. Whatever it was like a little yellow nugget. And so ting, ting, ting. I couldn't find it. But my carpet was cream like this as well, so it was like, it's gone, can't find it. And when I got up in the morning, my finger was probably back to 90% of the note, like 10% swollen at that point. I could move it almost completely. I went back to the doctor's, and he was just like, "What have you done?" I was like, "Well, you told me I was going to lose it, so I was just messing with it." Because he told me not to mess with it because it would make things worse.
Yeah.
And, I said, well, you told me I was going to lose it anyway, so I was just fucking messing with it. And he was like, yeah, but even if you've got something out, it shouldn't go back that quick. But yeah, just literally, all the red had pretty much gone. There was a bit of red around where the hole was, and that was it. And that was in a day and a half.
That's mental.
From him saying you're going to lose, he basically said, if the antibiotics don't do something on the next 3 days, you're 100% going to lose your finger. Probably going to lose your hand. 2, there's nothing wrong with you, carry on. In a day and a half. Which just further proves I am Wolverine.
Oh, God.
But if you're going to lose or something, you might as well just have a go, see if you can save it yourself. They tell you you're 100% going to lose it, you might as well have a try. If I hadn't done anything, I would possibly be sitting here at least like that. That's with my index finger missing. Or possibly like that, with the whole hand missing. And the only reason I'm not is because I ignored the doctor's advice.
A lot of weird things happen to you physically, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I don't make sense.
I know.
They really need to... I need to be put on like some scientific experiments and shit. Have you ever had an injury that was absolutely catastrophic from something that shouldn't have been? Like, I nearly lost my hand because of a splinter.
I can't think of anything that's happened to me like that. I don't have accidents really. Apart from when I broke my ankles.
You broke your ankles?
Well, I sprained them, didn't I?
It's not a bad difference between broke and sprained.
Well, I fractured them. It's technically broken.
Fracture and break is exactly the same thing. When did you do this?
And
Not while
rolled
we've
my
been
ankle.
together.
Yeah.
You've never broken anything while we've been together.
Yeah, that's why I had to wear the boot.
You didn't break it.
They said I had a fractured hairline.
Fractured hairline.
Fracture.
You had a fractured hairline, did you?
I
Don't
had
call
a
me an
hairline.
idiot.
They said I had a hairline fracture.
I can't see the break in it actually. It's
Shut
just
up.
there.
When I rolled my left ankle at McDonald's, when I tripped over that bloody chair,
Yeah.
they said I had a hairline fracture on the front of my foot.
Okay.
That's why I had to wear the boot and have crutches. But when I did my other one, when I fell out the back door, they said I just sprained it.
Mm.
So yeah, I've broke a bone.
Broke a bone. I broke loads.
I know you've broke loads of bones.
Mostly hands and feet.
Your ligaments end up everywhere.
And yeah, my ligaments. I do loads of ligament damage. It's my favourite.
It's your favourite.
The Carr clan. I'm going now because I want to go to bed because me and Willow have got an agreement that she's getting up at 5 o'clock. So I want to go to sleep because it is now
10 past 10.
8 minutes past 10.
More or less 10 past 10.
It's 8 minutes past 10. Righty dokey. Skip.
He's been him.
And she's been her. Don't forget to follow us on the relevant things and do the likes and subscribes and all those oojits and watchits. Have a good one. Bye.
Have a good one. Oh.
Diddly 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 dip. The cock run.